afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast. I am your host, the Aquarian Chancellor, and this is the podcast where I share my stories. I bring my guests on, they share their stories, all in hopes that it inspires you, the listening audience, to go out and discover your infinite possibilities. Now, today I have a guest, Ronnie Izon. Please share with the audience who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much, Steve, for having me. My name is Ronnie Izon. I am a Nigerian born, American grown, as I call myself, author, speaker, and community founder. I am also the mother of three children, three adult children now. And I have been navigating in between my midlife and my
Mhm.
emptiness years for the last 10 years and
Oh,
discovering, almost like your podcast is, the infinite possibilities that are out there for women.
I know that's right. You know, this is such an interesting topic to me because when I saw you put your feelers out there, I said, oh, I would love to speak with her because, I'm getting up there and I'm at that point where, the teenagers are in their later years of teenagehood. And so they're at that point where they're making decisions
Yes.
about what they want to do with the rest of their lives. So I was very happy that you said yes.
I am glad to be here. Thank you.
Most welcome. So I want to start from the beginning because you said that you were Nigerian born.
Mhm.
In your bio, you also mentioned, that you are cross continental. So
Mhm.
could you please share what that experience was like for you at that young age coming over from Africa or Nigeria, and what experiences, how did that shape your viewpoint on life?
So, for my part of the Nigerian world, I was raised in boarding school.
Okay.
Nigeria was colonized by the British. So my boarding school was British based. My elementary growing up was all British education influence.
Mhm.
So coming over here, I came to go to college.
Okay.
And then college happened. And then life happened. And then I got married, had three children, and then divorced. So coming here was no different than the
Mhm.
mindset of the boarding school. You were not raised to just exist. You were raised, launched into the world to make a difference.
Mm.
That was what I got out of my boarding school background. So coming here was no, for most Africans, not just Nigerians, for most Africans, education
Mhm.
is probably one of the biggest uh, life goals for us.
Mhm.
It's not optional. It's the unspoken mandatory steps of life. You would go to college, non-negotiable. So it was what I was grown, raised as, and that was what I did. Go to
Yeah.
college.
Yeah. So in your own household, you're here and you're raising your own children. Was that a non-negotiable? Like, did you all talk about that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh, as young as they are, as little, and I'm sure if you ask them, they'll tell you. My kids and most Nigerian kids, let me reference Nigerian kids. College was not an option. It was not whether you will go or not. It's just the natural progression, at least the first degree. So for my kids, they, God bless them, didn't know that they have choices. You will go to high school and you will go to college. And after that, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. So the one of the reasons why I asked you that question is because you coach women on what you affectionately call their third act.
Yes, ma'am.
And you spoke a lot about your daughter going away to college and how that changed your viewpoint of yourself as far as the identity is concerned. Could you share about that?
For all your listeners, for every woman out there, I am sure if you've ever had your child, the last child leave the house,
Mm.
this are some of the things that you think about that you may not have the word for, or you may feel like this is happening to just you,
Mm.
except it is happening to millions of women every year. I call it a fresh batch of misery
Oh, wow.
because you raise them.
Mm.
And I just described the college being a non-negotiable for us. So you raise them, you know they're going to go to college. All those are head knowledge. You planned it. You helped them select the college. You went for the college visits. I mean, even when they selected their college of choice, you went dorm room shopping, dorm supply shopping, right?
Yeah.
You do all that. What you didn't know is when your heart knowledge is going to kick in.
Mm.
When you drop the last child off and you give them that last hug, in my case, hugging her a little too tightly until she goes, Mom. And that little mom speaks volume like, let go. You're embarrassing me in public.
Right.
And the realization that you're leaving your heart,
Mm.
a piece of your heart, to complete strangers.
Yeah.
To, in my case, I don't even think she was 17 because we had to sign a waiver for her to be in the dorm because she was so young. I think she was 16 or 17 when she started. And you're leaving your baby with this, I don't know you, but you must leave them because it was what you worked towards.
Yes.
The drive home for a lot of mothers, and I described it in the book that you mentioned earlier, until that last hug happens, you're still in la la land. You're still in this euphoria. We planned it. They're doing it. This is the normal progression. You're excited for them.
Yeah.
But when they turn their back, and I can bet you $1 that they would turn their back first and you're still rooted in place. Like, what just happened? And they're trying to get on with their life. I'm sure they're
Mm-hmm.
afraid too. But for me, I was falling apart. And I
Mm.
wasn't the only one falling apart. Moms, dads, all of us were falling apart together. You could see us going, dabbing our faces, dabbing our faces as we were walking away. For me, it took a while to even start the car.
Mm.
I have 3 kids. She's my last and the one that turned me into an empty nester. The drive, oh my gosh, was so gut-wrenching.
Mm.
And somewhere between that drive and getting back home is when this little voice in your head starts to get a little louder.
Mm.
And that voice starts to ask you, that's it? You did all that? Wait, there was no blue ribbon? There was no award? Wait, what am I going to do now? I mean, you were running around 2 months ago, planning graduation, picking out college stuff, and then you finally made it home safely by God's grace, in
Yeah.
between tears, and your house is quiet. There's nobody that says, Mom, I need to be Mom. We're going to be late, Mom. You don't have to solve anybody's problem.
Mm.
That is probably one of the hardest part for an empty nester. When you're no longer useful,
Mm.
when you're no longer the center of their world, when you're no longer solving their everyday
Mm.
drama, something happens that makes you question yourself. Like, Is that all I'm good for? All this work, 18, 19, 20, 20 something years, depending on how many kids you have. That's it? It's over? Now, what about me? That's where the identity crisis kicks in.
Mhm. How were you able to shift your mindset during that time to not seeing it as a bad thing or questioning yourself to now refocusing on yourself and the things that you want to do to uplift yourself?
First, I'd like to put it out there that it's not linear. It's
Hmm.
not a straight part from the here and now to where I want to be. I'd also like to stress that I've been on this journey for over 10 years. She's been gone for over 10 years, and to me, it's still, the house is still quiet.
Yeah.
So, for me, I've always wanted to travel. Travel was one of the things that I put on the back burner while I was in active mothering role. Funny, before she left, she was asking, even she was mindful that there's a shift coming. That she asked, what are you going to do with yourself when I'm gone?
Hmm. Oh, that's so sweet.
And should we buy a dog? Do you want a dog? No, I am done raising things or people. No. So for me, travel was one of the things that I wanted to do, that I got
Okay.
started. The second thing, and for me, this was major shift. I understand that not everybody will have the opportunity. I had to leave the house. I had to.
Okay.
I relocated to another state. I relocated from Maryland to Houston for two reasons. Number one was the house was just too quiet. All the reminders, you walk past their bedroom, you know
Yeah.
their hobbies, whatever they left in your house, you're still looking at it.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, I want my parents are in Maryland. So the first year that I went through, I was miserable. I have a full-time job, but after the work, after the church, after whatever activities I had myself, you were still coming to an empty house.
Hmm.
And that I couldn't shake off. This is where some women will go into depression.
Yeah.
I kept myself as busy as I could. I volunteer, I serve, I am here, I am there. But at the end, before the end of that 1 year, I decided that I needed a fresh start.
Okay.
I was already divorced anyway. So I'm a single parent. There was nothing tying me down. By this time, she had decided she was going to transfer school from South to the West Coast. So for me, the way that I made my decision was equal distance to my daughter and my parent in case of emergency, whoever
Okay.
needs me. So I decided to move to Houston. Why Houston? Equal distance. It wasn't because I love Houston or hate Houston. It was just where could I be that would be equal distance in case of emergency, whoever needs me. So I moved to Houston. I needed to find Ronnie.
Mm.
In Maryland, I was mom. As a matter of fact, most people that knew me when my kids were young were Miss Izon, Jeffrey's mom, Jason's mom, Joanna's mom, Miss Ronnie. I was not Ronnie.
Mm.
And that was important to me, was to find Ronnie. What did I want? I had to remember
Yeah.
all those things that I pushed back, all those things that were lower priority. I had to make me the priority. That meant going where nobody knows me. So
Mm.
that when I introduce myself, I was introducing Ronnie. Hi, I'm Ronnie. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And that did me a world of good. It, I speak to people freely. I know my mailman. If you were in line together, I'll talk to you. So I didn't have a problem meeting people. On top of it, I didn't know any soul in Houston when I moved to Houston,
Wow.
but that fit my personality.
That takes a level of bravery.
So if you and I use the word bravery,
Okay.
it means it's only for a few of us.
Mm,
It means, in my opinion, that we're content sitting in the status quo.
mm.
Sometimes we have to do it afraid.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was not afraid. I was afraid. But I could either sit in fear
Mm,
or I could go find this woman. I talked about coming here for college. I finished college. I got married. There was not really time for me.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
two choices. I could sit and cry, woe is me, or I could make a choice. So I did it afraid. I packed up the house, hitched my truck to a rider truck, drove cross country.
Wow.
I met people along the way, wonderful people along the way, complete strangers. I didn't know how to pump a diesel into a truck. I pulled up at an 18-wheeler gas station. A
Mm-hmm.
complete stranger saw me, walked over, and helped. I got to Houston. I didn't know how to unhitch my car from the truck. A neighbor saw me, came downstairs. You ladies need help? We went to the first grocery store. We stood in line. Whoever was standing, hi, how are you? I'm Ronnie. That was important. So, to get started, how did I do it? That was the choice for me.
Yeah.
For other women that I coach that do not have the opportunity to move cross country, most of us, when we were raising the kids, we're so busy with the kids that they are our entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're no longer here. How many of your neighbors do you know? Go meet the neighbors. I'm not saying from day one, go invite them to dinner. I am saying when you step out of the house, say hello to that neighbor you just usually wave to. Step up. Hi, how are you? There's an elderly on the street. There's a mother with little kids. You know what that looks like. You
Mm-hmm.
know what it feels like. Step up. If nothing else, how about you start with a walk? Start a new tradition. How well do you think you know your neighborhood? If you drive, most of us drive, our eyes are on the road, right?
Yeah.
Has there been a change in your neighborhood since the last 5 years? Take a walk. Put the phone in your pocket. Take a walk. Truly open your eyes to see. Do you like pets? There's a neighbor that has a dog, a cat, a whatever. Introduce yourself. Ask to walk the dog. It's not, changes are not made uh, in big chunks.
Yeah.
Little things that stop you from looking inward, sinking down into depression, worried about the kids don't need you anymore. Your
Mm.
kids don't need you. Somebody else needs you. Do you go to church? Do you go to mosque? Do you go, where do you go? Somebody needs you.
It's so powerful that you said that because I adopted my son's dog. And I'm the amount of people, especially in the summertime, I have met a lot of people just taking his little butt out for a walk every morning and every evening. And even it's so funny because the dogs make that happen because they introduce themselves to each other. So it's so funny. I've met so many different people, so many different backgrounds because we have that one thing in common, a pet.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And that's where your little change starts.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you take the walk, you're seeing something different, something interesting about your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
The little sparks start. When you talk to the neighbor, the little sparks is ignited. When you adopt a school or just your kid's class, when you go to the nursing home down the street, when you plant flowers
Mm-hmm.
in your own neighborhood, when you change, not a major change of furniture, rearrange something, little things that stops you from spiraling down on this walk in the third act, as you referenced. I have met on my YouTube channel, I have met so many people, male
Yeah.
and female, that are stuck in I am missing them. Yes, you do. But here's the kicker. They're going on with their life. They're moving on with their lives. They're figuring out their lives. And you're allowing misery to live rent free in your head? Uh-uh. Is it painful? Yes. I am one of you. I know the pain firsthand. So I'm not speaking theory. Grief will run its course,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no way to speed up. The first thing is they're leaving. It's almost like the grief stages. First, you're angry. Never mind that you know they went to college.
Yeah.
You're angry that you're home alone now. Is that it? And then you're in the denial. Oh, that's okay. They'll be back. When they come back, they're not coming back the same.
Mm-mm. No, you know what's so funny? And even that, when they come back, they have other people that compete for their time. So
Hello.
you have to like not be upset about that because they still young. Yes.
When they come back, I just released a YouTube video about this topic that I titled When They Come Home and They Turn Your House or Use Your House as a Hotel.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
brings us to
So
talking about the book. It's a memoir that you wrote. It's called Slipping Through My Fingers. And you had a fantastic premiere on the first night of you releasing your book. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I did. We had a phenomenal night. So the book was 5 years in the making. I have to put that
Okay.
out there. It's as many authors that is ever written a memoir, you're regurgitating old stories. You're
Mm,
picking old scabs. So it's not something that you sit one day and you write. Or at least that was not my experience. I went through the seasons of who wants to read about my story? Except as I meet other women and
mhm.
as I learn about their stories, I realized that what I'm going through is not just Ronnie. It's every Ronnie out there, every other mother out there that is going through similar. When your child leaves, so it took about 5 years to write my picking scabs, as I call it. There were days that were easy, what to include, what to not include, what's private, what's not, what is relevant for the world, for other women, to show other women more than anything that you're not alone, to
Yeah.
show daughters that we're not crazy. We just love you maybe a little too much
Yeah.
sometimes. And we really want to hold on. And you're trying to break free. And there's that tension in between. So we finally, to the glory of God, got the book published. And then come launch date. I have to thank my church, and I'm please, if you don't mind, I'd like to shout out Redeemer's Chapel
Absolutely. Go
in
ahead.
Lanham, Maryland. My church came out. They showed up for me. They showed up so much. We sold 350 copies in
Yes.
2.5 hours. It was phenomenal.
Yes.
It what I loved especially about the launch was it
Uh-huh.
wasn't just women. It was men and women, young and old. We had teenagers all the way to 80s. My parents are in their 80s. My parents were present. But I also had teenagers in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
When I was teasing out the promo, I had a lot of men reach out. That says what you're describing is not just mothers.
Mm.
Fathers miss their children too, you know.
Yeah. And you know what? That's something that's not talked about a lot.
It I am considering, just
Mm-hmm.
considering right now, to collaborate with a few dads to see if we can work together and write from a father's perspective.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Especially, we have an outlet. You and I can talk about this all day long. I remember when I was dropping her in school, there was a dad. The mothers were carrying on, we're
Oh.
expressing our emotions. He was just there in the dorm. But if you look at him, you could see something was going on. And me, I told you, I talked to everybody. I stepped a little closer and go, "Are you okay?" And he said, "No,
Oh, wow.
that's my baby.
Mm.
And no, I'm not okay. And I don't know how I'm going to be okay." The comment on the YouTube channel says it all, male and female. I miss them. So as I write the book, I wrote from my daughter's angle. I had two boys and the girl from the relationship. The title of the song is actually influenced by the ABBA song Slipping Through My Fingers.
Okay.
And there was that song, the song title talks about the places we are planning to go.
Okay.
And for me, that was it, is all the things I wanted us to do together.
Mm-hmm.
One
Mm-hmm.
day they're with their backpacks, you forgot your lunch. And then the next day, they're this little young adult. One day they're sure, next day they're not. By the time they go to college and come back, they're adults.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they have it together or not, that's a debate for another day, but they're adults. And to see all this mix of demographics, the teenagers, the dads, the grandparents that came out, that purchased the book, I don't remember too many people that purchased one copy. That was how we sold so many copies. They were buying copies to gift women in their lives, to
Yes.
give to sisters, to mothers, to daughters. It was phenomenal. It was just to see people read and give me feedback. In less than 48 hours, I think I received the first feedback. She hasn't even finished the book.
Oh, wow.
She said, "I wish I had this book when I was struggling with raising my kids.
Mm.
I wish I had this insight. I wish I had this wisdom." And for me, I'm thanking God that I stepped out. Again,
Yeah.
this is not brave. This is doing it afraid, but do it anyway. Because if you can touch one woman, one mother,
Yeah.
mission accomplished.
So, oh my goodness. When I was younger in my 20s and a young mom, and I was put so much pressure on yourself, and this is for the young moms, whether you were a teen mom or in your 20s or early 30s, and you just you're under so much pressure trying to figure it all out and be perfect, and you don't realize until you get older and you look back at the journey and nobody has it figured out. You realize there's no perfect way to raise your children. there is no perfect way. So when you said that, I totally got with that the feedback was they wish that they had the book earlier. I totally resonated with that.
It's there is no perfect. Thank you for saying it. I hope your listeners, I hope the young parents, the young mothers are listening. Even the older parents that are like me, the midlife parents,
Mm-hmm.
some of the women that I coach, the believe it or not, some of the topic is pains that they're carrying around.
Mm.
That my mother did this, or
Yes.
we have a strained relationship because. And the question that I ask is, what were her choices?
Mm.
How do we decipher between malice, intentional, willful malice, or a woman that's struggling
Mm-hmm.
and doing the best she could with what she had at that moment in time? And when I put it like that, you could see almost like realization, or
Mm-hmm.
at least you could see the gear churning in their head. So, what you're holding against your mother as an adult or as a young parent that wants to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
the only perfect people are 6 feet under. You're not there. They're dead. They're 6 feet under. They're in a perfect state of silence. That's not us. As a young mother, you're challenged. You have a million of choices that we all make daily. Do I
Yeah.
get out of bed? It's a choice. Do I brush my teeth, comb my hair? What? There are a series of choices that you will make. Do the best you can for your child, but don't aspire to be perfect because perfect does not exist.
Yeah, that's a
And
fact.
that's where we add stress upon stress upon stress. There's no need. On top of it, and I hate to break it to you, and I'm sure every mother did this, I'm sure you did, especially if you have multiple kids, or even if you have one. Your first child, nothing is too good for your child. Am I right?
That's
You buy
right.
brand name things, and oh my God, by the time you have the second, you're a little relaxed. By the
Mm-hmm.
time you have the third, please, daycare is perfectly okay.
Yep.
The kids, as you're raising them, the kids are not keeping scores of day 242 of my life. My mother did this. No, they actually remember the micro experiences.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask them about memories now, oh, we did this. There are those outliers. I am always careful
Yeah.
to acknowledge the outliers that did not have a good home life,
Mm-hmm.
that terrible things happened to. Even to those people that terrible things happened to, and you informed your mother, and your mother did not defend you,
Mm.
I ask for grace. Unless it was a mental situation. And even at that, you know, it was a mental situation that the person was not capable of defending. In most cases, the woman, that mother, was making decisions based on a set of facts or situation that you are not privy to.
Mm.
I have this analogy that I use. I call a coin three sides. Each coin has three sides. If I hold up a coin, if you see the head, that means I'm seeing the tail. So you will be right, justified, factual that that coin has a head. because that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And I'll be equally justified to say it's the tail. But neither one of us are seeing the true story. Like a puzzle, you don't have all the pieces. That woman at that time that didn't defend you was making decisions. Right or wrong, I'm not defending. I am saying give grace, especially now as an adult,
Yeah.
that you're on the journey and you realize that life has a knack of throwing you curveballs. That the perfect life that you expected is somehow not perfect, and you're having to change course correct as you go
Mm-hmm.
along. Please give grace.
Mm-hmm.
Most important, don't let that bad situation define you. Don't let that bad situation determine the rest of your life. All of us at some point in time have been faced with difficult situations.
Yeah.
That mother made a decision based on whatever. I'm not justifying it. I am saying for the benefit of your life, for the quality of your life, it does no good to carry the burden, to carry the weight of unforgiveness.
Mm.
Now, and I'm going off script here, I apologize. And I don't
No,
even know why I'm going there.
no. Please don't apologize.
Uh, Forgiveness does not mean put yourself in harm's way. Two different things.
Mm.
Forgiveness, you release them for yourself so you can have peace. If somebody was hurting you, you can forgive them, but you cannot go back and put yourself in harm's way. You can love people from a distance, from a very long distance, from a phone call, just checking on you. How are you doing today? If the conversation is going to turn difficult, I apologize. I have to get off the phone. I'm sorry. I only called to check on you. Don't put yourself in harm's way. But to that young mother, there's no perfect.
Yeah.
Raise your child the best way you can. Give it your best so that one day when they leave and you look back, you know beyond the shadow of a doubt, you did the best you could.
Okay, so you are the founder of the Third Act Society. Tell us about why you named it that. Why and who do you wish to serve other than women who are empty nesters? Not even just women, just parents or who are empty nesters, but who else do you wish to serve?
Okay. So, third act. Why did I name it third act? The way that I see life, life is a play. Life is in phases. Act
Mm,
one is usually our first job, going, not even college, because in college state, somebody else is responsible for you. But with your first job, once you start to make decisions for yourself, all
mm,
of those are aspirations. In Act One, you have on rose colored glasses.
mm-hmm,
You can move mountain just by showing up. You have no idea about life's curveballs. You have no idea that you need people to help you to succeed. That's Act One. Act Two begins when you become a mother, a parent, or there's the second person in your life, or usually careers for the women that did not have kids. The careers, so there are jobs in Act One. I just want to make a paycheck.
mm-hmm,
In Act Two, you mostly have careers and you're aspiring to grow, to improve yourself. You are in 100% full on motherhood throes. It is where your identity is wrapped. Most
Mm.
of your friends are really not your friends. They're parents of your kids' friends. If you're a dog mom, they're owners of those other dogs. They were not really your friends. They're usually friends by association. That's
Mm-hmm.
the second act. The third act begins when all of those things, all of those roles that we see ourselves, the mom role, the career role, the caregiver role, even the relationship role, wife, husband, partner, those roles, when they end, it's usually where your third act begins. The third act, I give this analogy and I'm waiting for a statistician to come and correct me. At 50, the probability that you will live another 50 years
Mm.
is 0.000000000.1%.
Mm.
So for most people, for women especially, that has had a major life defining role.
Mm.
As I said, when I was in Maryland, I moved to Houston. I have since moved back to Maryland. When I meet the people that knew me when I was raising kids, when I was in my second act, they call me Izon's mom. They don't call me Ronnie. In your third act, while you still may be somebody's mom, that audience starts to shrink
Mm.
because it's your old life. Your new life, now that you know you don't have another 50 years, the question for most of us, for women in midlife, so to your question, not just empty nesters, midlife. I speak to women in midlife. I coach women in midlife. The community, Third Act Society, is for women who have poured decades into others, into
Yeah.
other roles, and now asking, what now? What next?
Yes. I love
Okay.
that.
So where if a woman 50 plus had wanted to join you at the third act society, where can they find you? Where can they find your YouTube channel on social media? So just share all your socials.
Thank you for that opportunity. So, the first place to find me is on my website, ronnieizon.com, RONNIEIZON.com, ronnieizon.com. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all my handles are at Third Act Society,
Okay.
as well as the community. We would love you to come join us. Come listen and lean in. There's a lot to talk about in this act. It's the most exciting act of your life.
Okay. You got me ready to go over here and pack some bags and start doing some traveling, enjoying myself.
Saying better
I know that's
myself.
right. With that, we are going to see you all next episode. I appreciate you, Ronnie, for being here. I'm going to send you off the right way, but everyone else, take care.